morning everybody and welcome back to another video. So firstly, let me start off by apologising for any banging that you may hear in the house. I'm having a carpet laid today, so I've got the fitters in and they are banging downstairs, so unfortunately it's inevitable. Right, so what we're doing today, we're going to be doing a frog again, and this time we're going to be doing some metallic powdered frogs with this gorgeous metallic ribbon. So I've cut it into strips and I'm just going to stuff it into the frog. But before we go down that route, I'm going to be using UV resin and I'm going to cure it for about 30 seconds just so that it's tacky on the surface, and I'm going to brush over some of these metallic nail powders. So we have, it's supposed to be ruby red that, but it looks more like a purple. And I've got rainbow, which is silver rainbow. I have these, but I'm not sure if I want to use these yet because these are more pastel and these are like a holographic, to just like shifting powders. But the other metallic ones I have is metallic pink, gold for the yellow, blue and a lighter blue. So I just wanted to draw like some little patterns in UV resin. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to put you on pause, put my PPE kit on and get my UV light plugged in and set up, and I'm going to put these in before I even video it because it's just so fiddly and I just can't be bothered messing about and it not working. So I'll get them done quickly and then I'll be back with all my PPE kit on. So if you are working with UV resin and resin, please make sure that you have protective stuff on, such as goggles, gloves, apron, respirator or a mask, at least a mask. I have my windows open, I have my studio door open, and I also have the aircon on. You won't be able to hear it because it's quite quiet actually, but it is at the other side of the room. What it does, it just dampens down on the fumes. Because my respirator's broken, I'm having to use a dust mask, which is not a dust mask but a COVID mask. So anything like a medical mask or dust mask is vital, especially when you're working with powders, because these types of powders are not great in your lungs. So please make sure you wear your PPE, because I know some YouTubers don't wear them, and that's not really a good example to other people when you're trying to teach people how to use resin and show people what you do. So always give that advice, and then it's up to the viewer whether, if they go away and use resin, whether they want to use it or not. Anyway, enough of me waffling on my crap. Let's get let me get you on pause, get myself sorted, and then I'll be back. See you shortly. Right, so the cabochon eyes are now placed into the frog. So we can now put that to one side. If you're wondering why I'm going upside down, I broke my UV lamp after a week of having it. Terrible. Right. So I'm going to use one of these today. But I was just wondering if I had one in my bigger brushes. I got these brushes off Amazon. These makeup brushes. But they don't have an eyeshadow one like that, which is alright because I know they're like old school now. There's all this blending this and blending that. Right, so all this is a 10ml needle nose bottle, and all I've done is put UV resin in there. I am using the Jdiction high viscosity UV resin, only because I've run out of Apex, and the Apex one is a medium viscosity, so I don't want it to spread out. This will basically, it just sticks to it, just goes where you put it and it doesn't like run. So, and all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to do a load of patterns like squiggles and circles and see how we go. And then we're going to be brushing the powders over the top. Right, so what I need to do is I need to get a paper wipe and just squeeze. You might get arm ache, like fingers aching from this, from squeezing, but and then once you've done that, just give it a quick cure. So I'll pause you for this. Right, so I just did a 15-second cure, so it's still tacky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick, let's pick this pink one because that's really pretty. And you just want to dip that in there and just brush lightly, just so you're covering anything that goes onto the mould can be wiped off with a baby wipe. You just want to make sure that you cover the where you've put the UV with it. So can you see? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a baby wipe and then we're going to wipe around where the powder's gone that doesn't need to be on. Be careful when wiping it off because you might wipe it off the mica powder, not off the mica powder, off the UV resin. And then it's just like that, still there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw squiggles and squills again, swirls and dots and squares and triangles, and just put them into the legs and on the body, and then we're just going to be using all the powders. So I'll time lapse you while I'm doing this so you're not just sat watching me and the video will get too long, and then half of you will skip it and then you'll affect my algorithm, which I don't want you to do. So right, I will see you on the other side of this. See ya. Right, so that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything too much because if I put too much it's just going to take away from the actual point of the video. So the point of the video is this satin shimmer material, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to put that in, put some clear resin in, stuff all that in, and then we're going to back that in white. And for the feet, I'm going to be using, because this has got mostly yellow in it, I'm going to be using pink and yellow on the feet, just alcohol ink, so that'll just be mixing clear resin, poured into the feet, and then that'll go into the white resin. Right, so what I'm going to do is now is I'm going to pause you, I'm going to get cleaned up all around there. I'm going to be using some cotton buds, which are Q-tips if you're not in the UK. I'm going to give that a best clean as what I can to get all the powder off with inside the designs, and then I'll be back and we can get some resin poured. I am going to mix up 60 mils of resin. I shall make it up. Let's make it 100, and we're going to pour just until it gets to the tips here, the tip of the leg, top of the leg should I say, and then there we go, because if I pour it too high and put this in, it's going to overflow. So if I do 60 mils of resin, I think that would be plenty to put 3 or 4 pieces of that in there into the resin without it overflowing. So I will be back with you very shortly. Right, so I've mixed up some holographic, it is floating glitter, but I love the colour it has, and I'm going to put that in the toes and in the back of the legs there, and possibly in the front if I have enough. So all we're doing is just putting this into the toes, and then we'll cure it with the UV lamp. You do need a UV lamp for UV resin. if you are new to resin. So I will put this on pause while I cure it. Right, so the feet are now cured, so I'm going to put some, hopefully can get some glitter, if it will pour into the legs. So while I was off, I just did the legs and the arms of this. I've got some resin mixed up. I've mixed up 70 mil, I think 60 or 70 mils. I think about 70 mils. So I'm going to put a thin layer of this. I have let it been degassing for about 15 minutes because it was quite bubbly as it's been cold here in the UK. I'm not bothered about any of the resin flowing over because we've got them covered. Right, so what I'm doing, sorry, I was just seeing if it worked. I pulled out the first two pieces that I put in because they were all a mess. So I'm just cutting these into like an oval shape. And then putting them in. Making a mess while I'm at it. If you're new to my channel, I don't like mess. Cannot stand mess. And we're just going to do the same with every sheet we have. I'm just making sure there's no bubbles underside, which is not. So there's quite a bit of yellow in there now, so we're going to go for the pink one. I have no idea whether this material will change colour with different backing. So I got this ribbon from Temu. I think it was like 80 cents, which is about 70p. I've put that the wrong way. If you do find you've got any bubbles, if you just push it up, it'll go between layer. And to be honest with you. I'm not really bothered about bubbles. Sometimes bubbles can be quite effective. Right, and then we've got one last piece. And I just want to make sure, yeah. I put that in whole, I think. Because I like the purple and yellow, because I've got quite a bit of pink in there now and yellow, but I like the blue and the yellow together. So we're just going to snip the back off and maybe just circular that bit at the front. You can make these crinkled if you want to give a different effect. I am using, forgot to say, I am using the Apex High Gloss 1-to-1 resin, which is my go-to resin. This is by Just Few Online UK. All links for products and moulds in the description box for you, along with any discount codes that I may have. You want to treat yourself, save yourself some pennies, and you have got a discount code. Things like this, I don't have discount code for. Nail powders I've had for a long time when I used to do nails. But I can try and find you some links maybe on Temu and Amazon to see if I can find you the metallic ones. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with the rest of this resin. And then I'm going to, what's it called, let it degas for about 40 minutes. And then I put it on my heat mat. It has been standing for 15-20 minutes anyway, so it is starting to thicken. So I just want to babysit so I can go over it with my long neck lighter. Remember, don't use a torch on thin moulds. Torches can burn your resin and also adhere your resin to the mould and affect your product and ruin it. Long neck lighter or isopropyl alcohol is perfectly fine. So I'm going to get that done and I'll be back with you to do the second pour, which will be the backing coat of white, and I'll be back later. Bye. Right, I'm back. And this first layer is now cured. I have noticed, if you look underneath there, you see this here. When you, sometimes, not always, but sometimes when you put UV resin under the heat more than a few times, as I've been curing each layer, and then this, it can make it shrink back more and it lifts off the mould. So I think that's what's happened. And unfortunately, it's inevitable when that happens. Right, so I'm just letting you know before. It might not have done, but it looks like that's what has happened. Right, so I've mixed up 17 pumps of resin, which is about 150 mils. I have the Supreme White Epoxy paste, which is going to go into the back layer, and then I've got this Electric Yellow by Rolio, and I've got a little bit of resin there, which I'm going to put 2 drops of yellow into that. In fact, I'm going to put 6 drops in because it's quite a faded colour. I'm going to give that a mix around. I forgot you always need to add more pigment when it comes to light colours. This is pigment dye, so resin dye, and it's a transparent, so I think it needs a bit more yellow than that, so I'm going to put another 6 drops in. So it's had a total of 12 drops altogether. That's better. Yeah, because it looks like it's quite yellowy, but it's not. It's just because it's deep in the pot that it's in. That might not make sense to some of you, but the deeper the amount of resin is in a pot, the darker colour looks. And then we put it in a shallow depth, it looks lighter. So Sorry, I'm just looking for my baby wipes. That's okay. Right, so in this one, I'm using the white pigment paste, so I'm just going, dipping my stick in, wipe it off, and put it in. That should be enough. You don't need a lot. If you might need more if your pigment is pigmented, but these, the higher quality brands, they're more pigmented, so you don't need as much. Right, so I'll time lapse this, as you don't need me to time lapse your mixing colours. So I'm going to start by pouring this into here. And we're going to take the yellow and put that in the feet. And hopefully, I think I've just missed it. I think it's poured too much in and the white has gone over it. I haven't got enough space to push the white back, unfortunately. Oh well, there's not much I can do about that. Right, that's about as much as I can put in it. Right guys, so I'm going to let this degas, and then I'll put it on the heat mat for an hour. I'll be back to demold, and hopefully we'll have a pretty rainbow styled frog. So I will catch back you later. Bye. Right, so I'm back and this is now cured, so we're going to get this demolded to see what it looks like. I hope it's nice, if it'll come out. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible not to break the tools. Every time I demold the frog, I always break the tools. I have no idea what this is going to look like. If it's horrible, it's still going up. It's got some overpour. I have no idea what this is going to look like at all. I've got a feeling it's going to be horrible. But, oh well, we don't know if things are going to be nice until we try. I'm just getting the feet out. Right, are you ready? We have got a little bit of overspill, but that's okay, that'll come off later once it's cured. You ready? 1, 2, 3, and go. Ooh, that's strange. What do you think? It's not that bad actually. I thought it was going to be horrible. Have a couple of bubbles, but that's fine. That happens with materials. It can happen, should I say. Different, isn't it? What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Let's bring you down so you can have a closer look. What do you think of the metallic colours? I actually thought these had uplifted, but they've not actually. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Right guys, I'm going to leave that with you. Please like, comment and subscribe if you've not already done so. That would help my channel out so much. And I shall see you on tomorrow's upload. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.